Hello. Today's day 8 of doing 100 pull-ups every day as a way to raise awareness for Alzheimer's disease, as well as raise money for research and helping finding a cure and supporting people with Alzheimer's disease. All the money goes to the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. The Alzheimer's Society is worldwide. I just live in Canada, so my link is for the Canadian Society. But all donations go straight to that organization, and they do a lot of good work with research, helping people who suffer from Alzheimer's, and it's a really good cause. So please consider donating. Any size donation is greatly appreciated. And if you can't donate, send the video around to people who might be willing to donate. So, yeah. I do 100 pull ups, 7 pull ups on the minute until I get to 100. And yeah, let's start. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So, for the fact of the day, in most cases, Alzheimer's does not have a single genetic cause. Instead, it is likely influenced by multiple genes in combination with lifestyle and environmental factors. So, Alzheimer's can be genetic. It can be, you might be more susceptible to getting Alzheimer's because of your genetics. As it says, it could be a combination of different genes, but it's also your lifestyle and environmental factors that dictate whether you will develop the disease or not. All right, I've done 7, going for 14 now. Continuing. So, changes in genes called genetic variations may increase or decrease a person's risk of developing the disease. So, scientists currently know more than 80 genetic regions associated with Alzheimer's. Of the genetic variants associated with Alzheimer's so far, only 3 are known to cause the disease. Although it happens rarely, when someone inherits an altered version of one of these genes, APP, PSEN1, or PSEN2, they will likely develop Alzheimer's before the age of 65 and sometimes much earlier. So let me just do my set. I've done 14, going for 21. So the 3 genes that I talked about are APP, PSEN1, so PSEN1, and PSEN2. So if someone inherits or gets an altered version of these genetics, or sorry, of these genes, it's very, very likely that you will get the Alzheimer's disease by age 65. So people that find out that they have this one of these genes usually make an effort to fix their lifestyle habits so that it's less likely that they develop this disease. All right, I've done 21, going for 28. There's actually a show, I forget what it's called. I think it's Brad Pitt, but the show is pretty much based around him finding out he has one of those genes, I believe. And it's him changing his life so that his lifestyle habits so that he's less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. It's a pretty cool show, pretty informative stuff. Uh, Again, I forget the name, but if you can find it, it's a good show. Okay, so I've done 28, going for 35. All right, now for the prevention tip of the day. So I wrote down spend time with friends and family and engage in community life. So this helps with a few things. First, it stimulates the brain. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that after I do my set. So, okay, I've done 35, going for 42. So it stimulates the brain because conversations, shared activities, and social problem solving activates multiple areas of the brain, such as memory, language, emotion, and attention. This kind of mental stimulation helps build cognitive reserve, which can delay or reduce symptoms of Alzheimer's. So that's one good thing about engaging in, social activities with family or friends. It stimulates your brain because it forces you to talk, engage in some intellectual conversations, a bunch of things. All right, so I've done 42, going for 49. Another reason why it's good is because it reduces stress and depression. So, loneliness and chronic stress raise your levels of cortisol, a hormone that damages the brain over time. Social connection lowers stress, protects your mood, and reduces your risk of depression, which is a known risk factor of Alzheimer's. So, I know for me personally, if I'm having, sometimes I find myself just taking life too seriously. And when I hang out with my friends, I realize that it's okay to have fun, and to, you know, enjoy the nice times with your friends. So that definitely calms me down, lower stress level. So I've done 42 or 49, going for 56. And yeah, like cortisol, which is known as a stress hormone, is, it's good for some things, but a surplus of cortisol is not good for you. Like it said in what I read earlier, it can damage the brain. Too much cortisol is not good for your brain. So you need to find ways to lower your stress because cortisol, if you have too much of it, it's bad for other things as well, not just your brain. So if you can find ways to lower your stress, it's really good. Spending time with families and friends that make you feel good can help with that. All right, so I've done 56, going for 63. All right, the next thing is older adults with strong social ties have a 70% lower risk of cognitive decline, according to multiple studies. And isolation has been linked to faster memory loss and increased risk of dementia. Okay, so then 63, going for 70. But yeah, to add to that point, uh, older adults with social ties have a 70% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's. Goes back to if you have friends, a social life, you're stimulating your brain a lot more, meaning that you're building that cognitive reserve, which can fight against Alzheimer's. Also, isolation increases your risk because, well, let me do my set first. Okay, so I've done 70. Going for 77. So yeah, if you're more isolated, first, you're not stimulating your brain enough, socially anyways, because you're not talking to anybody. Also, because you're not seeing people often, this could lead to depression. It could lead to extra stress. So it kind of goes against everything I talked about earlier. It doesn't stimulate your brain, and it increases possibly your stress, aka cortisol, which damages your brain. So it's not good to be isolated, especially when you're older. All right, 77, going for 84. So if you have a relative that, you have a grandma or a grandpa who, maybe your grandma died and it's just your grandpa or the other way around. So they're living by themselves in a retirement home or in their own home. Make an effort to call them, make an effort to go see them if you're nearby. You know, they'll be happy to see you, of course, but also it's important for them. They need to continue to socialize to stimulate their brain, or else their brain's just gonna deteriorate. Again, like I said earlier, it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it goes away. All right, I've done 84, going for 91. All right, that was 91. So, yep, that's my fact for the day and my prevention tip for the day. Just gonna remind everyone again, the link to the donation page is in the description. All donations go straight to the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. If you can't donate, please share to someone or people who would be likely to donate. And any size donation is greatly appreciated, whether it's $1 or $1,000. I don't care. It's making a difference, and that's all I care about. So, all right, last set. I'll do 9 just to finish it off. Okay, 3, 2, go. 100. As always, I'm going to do an extra rep just in case I missed or miscounted in one of my sets. All right, so that's 100. It's the end of the video. And thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for another 100 pull-ups. Let's go. Bye.